All right. I have my basic depth lines cut in now. So let's see here. You can see. All right. So the face is separated from the hat. I'll cut up in here and cut this stuff out up to around here or so. Cut that out in a bit. Cut out these corners here or these triangles here because they're just gone. They're not there. So those can just go away. The guns next. They stick out pretty far. This one's lower than this one, but they still stick out pretty far. This hand is deeper in than this hand, but it's been separated quite a bit. Again, this is the highest point and this is the highest point, so they'll start to get, more. Plus you have to remember that this is birch. This is my last piece of birch, and I kind of just want to get rid of all my birch because it's so hard to work with. So we're just gonna make one last piece out of it and we'll be done with it. Unless of course a customer requests it, then it gets used again. So you see the lines that I've created. Cut in the hat, cut partially the facial area. We also part of there's some sort of scarf or something that this guy's gonna wear, so that's in there as well. You'll note that the hands, even though all these areas here will still be cut again and again and again and again, they're still very mild cuts because the hands are holding the gun, so they'll have a very short cut once they're actually in place. I should cut this out. I missed that. I'll do that in a minute. Here's the top of the poncho, so I can cut this as well. But all of this area will go further in quite a bit, so we can do that at that time. This whole area down here will be going way down to this other block here. So it's really just a matter of knowing where those cuts should be when I start hacking it off. Additionally, this is a part of the poncho, so all of this can go way back. I'll probably hack that off. I can show you how I tend to do that. Generally, I just put these in on my workbench so I have something to press against. Use a good sharp, well, it doesn't have to be sharp, not really, but sharp is good, chisel to use a hammer with, and then I'll just put it in place. And this is birch, so it's very dense, it's very heavy. It should just crack away. So in the case where I have a line here, I can pretty much cut off this whole section here. If I try to cut off anything below this cut, what it might do is snap a huge piece off from a different part of the carving that I don't want damaged. So I will only be able to cut this far to be safe, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm sure you already know this, but just be careful. You don't have to hack it all off. You don't have to hack it all off all at once. It's certainly nice that I don't have to carve that off. Now I can go down to my line. See it? I'm reaching that edge there. Got to be careful. So that's how I would get off the rest of this stuff. And I can turn this way around, do the same thing here. This line isn't as far, and it's not as big. See, all of those are all in there, so you gotta be careful. Do not hit so hard that you might end up cracking off part of this arm or this area of the carving. So you can see now that you can hack off quite a bit if you take it in pieces. So this and this will go all the way down to this block. So all of that can be cut again and again. The machine is very hot right now, so I have to be careful not to destroy it completely. I'll cut this later on. I'll get some of my other depths in place now. Maybe hack this off and this off as well. Put this line in here, definitely this line in here, and start to cut that, I suppose. Like I said earlier, this is all going to have to go away, but I kind of need to look at it for a little bit longer before I just hack it off. And there we go.